presence in the known lands. Relations with the known lands have been intermittent. Entry from the northern sector, especially via Asgard, enabled explorations, minor agreements, and the occasional misunderstanding among beings. Part of the council is thought to have struggled with the idea that the humanity in there was the only creation intrinsically bound to the celestial lands. They then explored survival alternatives beyond the second ice walls, attempted settlements that failed, and returned to their world, diminished by several deaths along the way. It is also believed there was a small skirmish with Anunnaki craft and the use of their own beings in an attempt to penetrate the celestial lands, where many were disintegrated. Over time, their visits increased quietly. In specific phases, they deployed a silent emigrants protocol. Pleiadian individuals camouflaged as humans to sow questions, open cracks in official narratives, and safeguard memory at key points, a mission they called resonance cores. This tactic did not seek to direct humans, but to prevent oblivion from becoming absolute in each reset cycle. Something later implemented in part by certain ancestrals. The colonizers' other plan. The greatest obstacle to full coexistence lay with the hidden colonizers. The known lands are administered by custodial Anunnaki structures, with apparatuses of control, large-scale manipulation of history, narrative, warfare, and experimentation, and their elites view every external arrival as an opportunity to consolidate a storyline. According to reports gathered by the ancestrals on this case, they may be fabricating, for the presentation of the Pleiadians, a story of visitors from a planet in outer space, with obligations such as forbidding them to reveal the existence of other dome worlds or the greater map of TERRA-INFINITA. In that script, any spiritual exchange falls under veto or conditional licensing. It would amount to a staged friendly invasion, designed to reinforce their outer space narrative. Why now? Need has become urgency. The interferences implanted in the Pleiades circle are pushing them to migrate. This is not an epic of conquest, it is pure survival. In parallel, certain custodial high commands are distracted by operations outside the Great Dome and by conflicts between domains, opening narrow windows for negotiation and for risk. One question hangs in the air. At what cost, then, would these beings return to inhabit the known lands in an official capacity? The idea circulating in the Pleiadian councils is of a gradual and official entry into the known lands under a new treaty. The establishment of supervised colonies, limited transfer of technology for civil use, and explicit silence regarding the TERRA-INFINITA structure. In exchange, they would be granted access to habitable regions and supply corridors. The real price between the lines? Self-censorship, and once again, a pact with the enemy. This could clearly break ties with the Anakim and the Ancestrals forever, though it could also be read as a new grand rescue plan. Even so, and here lies the dilemma, the same wisdom that sustains them impels them not to repeat the error of the past, signing away stability at the cost of memory. Once again, the colonizers' dirty hands are on the other side. For this reason, should they proceed, the Pleiadian colony would become a kind of school of forced coexistence. Could the Pleiadians' arrival benefit humanity? Part of the council is wholly opposed to signing a pact with those who ended up destroying their home. Others fear that the custodians will repeat their gambit and integrate them on condition of silence. They fear once more being used as a pilot test to control two worlds with high spiritual potential and thus seal a great cycle. They also fear, however, that their entire race might disappear. In sum, for now they hope that humans and Pleiadians will learn to coexist as in the first humanity, so that full knowledge may circulate and the next reset will not erase everything. How would such a pact be sealed to prevent another reset? Clearly, the Pleiadians would not risk disappearing, nor would they begin anew under Anunnaki custodial conditions. According to certain texts in the ancestral database, the Pleiadians maintain a network of inner analyses, small groups connecting ancestrals, Anakim, and awakened humans to safeguard archives and frequencies, so as to anticipate a possible future reset. In practical terms, it would be memory preserved upstream in time so that, along lines of probability, when a cycle begins, a joint plan can be carried out. Is this feasible? Yes, but the ancestrals do not see it as a first option, and it is not within the real plans to free humanity. They are truly distant from any race contemplating a pact with the parasitic colonizers. This, then, may be another deep fracture in the bonds of aid that the Anakim and the Ancestrals extend to the Pleiadians.